I was paying £315 a month for a car. That is more than most people pay for the same thing. But I didn't know why mine was so high. Turns out there was a number attached to my name, a number I had never heard of and never checked. And that single number was costing me roughly £150 extra every single month. Over 1 year, that added up to almost £1,800 thrown away on interest I should never have been paying. Years ago, I signed up for a truck driver training course in UK. The training center was an hour and a half drive each way. Every single day, I had to drive there, do the 4-hour truck driving lesson, and then drive back home. After a few sessions, I told them I could not keep doing this. They said, fine, but you still owe us money. I refused to pay the remaining balance, and after a couple of years, I forgot about it completely. What I didn't know was they took me to the court. They filed something called a CCJ against me, which stands for County Court Judgment. They sent the paperwork to my old address, and I never saw it. For years, that judgment was sitting on my name, and I had absolutely no idea it existed. That one mistake I never knew about ended up controlling my finances for years. What I'm about to show you is a system I wish someone had explained to me the day I arrived in UK. Most people think that if they have never borrowed money, their credit score must be fine. That is completely wrong, and here's why. No credit history is almost as bad as worst credit history. Think of it like a school report card. If you never showed up to the class, you don't get an A for not causing trouble. You get a blank page, and a blank page tells the bank nothing about you. So they treat you the same way they treat someone who has failed. Here is what a credit score actually is. It is a number that tells lenders how risky it is to give you money. In the UK, there are 3 main agencies that each give you a score: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Each one uses a different scale, which is already confusing enough. If you come from a country like Pakistan, India, or Bangladesh, you have probably never dealt with this system at all. Most people from these countries have never heard of credit score in their lives. So, when you land in the UK, you are starting from zero. Not because you did anything wrong, but because the system does not know you exist yet. And that blank page quietly costs you money every single day until you fill it in. Now you know what a credit score is and why a blank file is dangerous. There are 3 things that do the most damage, and most people only find out about them when it is already too late. Silent killer number 1 is the missed payments. Most people think missing one bill is not a big deal. It absolutely is a big deal. Every single missed payment can drop your score by 80 to 100 points, and it stays on your file for 6 years. Not 6 months, 6 full years. A phone bill you forgot about, a gym membership you thought you cancelled. That is all it takes to leave a mark that follows you for years. Silent killer number 2 is the contracts you do not understand. This one is personal to me. I learned it the hard way. Back in 2015, a so-called friend asked me to help him get a SIM contract. I put it under my name because he could not get one himself. I was paying for my SIM and his SIM as well. When I realized what was happening, I cancelled his line and refused to pay the remaining balance. But the contract was in my name. It did not matter that someone else was using the phone. The network kept calling me and kept sending me letters. Eventually, I had to pay it all off. That missed payment sat on my credit file for years. If someone asks you to put a contract on your name, the answer is always no. It does not matter who they are. If they stop paying, you take the hit. Silent killer number 3 is the CCJ you never knew about. This is the one that cost me £1,800. Remember the truck driver training I mentioned at the start of this video? They filed a county court judgment against me and sent the papers at an address I had not lived for years. A CCJ stays on your credit file for 6 years. Over 1.3 million CCJs were issued across UK in a single year. And over 5 million individuals and small businesses have at least one registered against them right now. Many of them have absolutely no idea. Here is a rule that could save you thousands. If you pay the full amount within 1 calendar month of the judgment, you can get it completely removed from your record, totally wiped off as it never happened. But if you pay even 1 day after that window, it stays on your file for full 6 years. Pay attention to every letter you receive, especially if it looks official. And if you move addresses, redirect your post through Royal Mail. It costs a few pounds and it could save you thousands. Let me stop here for a second. Look at what you already know. You understand what a credit score is and why a blank file is dangerous. You know the 3 things that silently destroy your score without you realizing. That is the 2 steps of the credit blueprint done. But remember what I said at the start of this video? That invisible number was costing me £150 extra every single month. We haven't talked about the full cost yet, and we haven't covered how to fix it yet. But that is exactly what the next three steps are for. And the next part is the one that made me feel sick when I finally understood the real numbers. Stay with me for next three steps. This is where the credit blueprint goes from understanding to action. Most people have never looked at their own credit report. Some think checking their score will somehow damage it. That is a myth. Checking your own score is completely free and it does not affect your rating at all. Think of it like getting an x ray at the doctor. Looking at the problem does not make it worse, but not looking means the problem grows until it is much harder to fix. Here is what to do right now. Go to a website called checkmyfile.com. It pulls your credit data from all three UK agencies, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, into a single report. Instead of checking three separate apps and comparing the three different numbers, you get your full picture in one place. It gives you a detailed PDF of your credit history of the last 6 years. They offer a free trial so you can see everything without paying a penny. What you're looking for is anything that should not be there. For example, a missed payment you do not recognize, a CCJ you never knew about, an address you have never lived at. This matters more than you might think. According to Royal London, over 9 million UK adults could have mistakes on their credit files right now. And a Which survey found that roughly 1 in 3 people who check their report discover something wrong. This is exactly what happened to me. I pulled my report and saw a CCJ I had no idea about. Once I found it, I paid the full amount. Because I paid it and documents were sent to my old address, with the help of a solicitor, I was able to apply to have it removed from my record. And once it was gone, my options changed overnight. Most people with no credit history try to apply for a normal credit card and get rejected straight away. Then they assume they will never get approved for anything. This is the entirely wrong approach. You don't start with a normal card, you start with what is called a credit builder card. Think of it like training wheels on a bicycle. You are not trying to race yet, you are just proving you can balance. Here is the exact system that works. Step 1. Register on the electoral roll. Go to gov.uk and register to vote right now. This is the single fastest thing you can do for your credit score. It confirms your name and address to every lender in the country. And if you are from a Commonwealth country, you can register to vote in the UK as long as you have permission to stay. Most people don't know that. Step 2. Get a credit builder card. Cards like Barclays Forward and Capital One Classic are designed for people with little or no credit history. They start you with a small limit, usually around £200 to £500. Step 3. Use it for one small purchase every month. Put your Netflix on it or your phone bill, something small that you already pay for every month anyway. Step 4. Set up a direct debit to pay the full balance every single month. This is the part that matters the most. If you only pay the minimum, you'll pay interest and your score will barely move. Pay the full balance every single month and you will never pay a single penny in interest. The card company reports your perfect payment history to all three agencies automatically. Within 6 months, you will see a noticeable improvement in your score. Within 12 to 24 months, you can reach a good credit rating starting from absolutely nothing. This is the credit blueprint in action. I'm working on a full video about credit cards, specifically how to use them properly without ever paying interest and the traps you need to avoid. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Everything I have shown you so far matters, but this last step is the one that will change how you think about money. Because bad credit does not mean you get rejected once. It means you pay more for everything, quietly, constantly, for years. Let me show you the real numbers. The average UK house costs around £268,000. If you have a good credit, you might get a rate around 4.5%. If you have bad credit, that rate jumps to 6.5% or even higher. On a 25-year mortgage, that difference costs you over £86,000 in extra interest. Let me say that number again so it lands properly. £86,000 more for the exact same house. Now look at what happens with a car. Good credit gets you around 7% APR. Bad credit pushes you to 20% or higher. On a £15,000 car over 5 years, bad credit adds roughly £8,100 in extra interest payments. This is exactly what happened to me. I was paying 23% APR on my car finance, £315 a month. The normal rate would have been roughly half of that. I was burning money every single month because of a CCJ I did not know existed. Your money is draining out and you cannot even see where it is going. And it does not stop there. Bad credit means you get rejected for handset deals. So instead of spreading the cost to over 2 years, you have to buy a phone outright. That is £300 to £1,200 upfront that most people do not have sitting around. Now think about renting a house. Almost half of the UK landlords say they would reject a tenant with a CCJ on their file. You could be the best tenant in the world, but if your credit file has a mark on it, you might not even get a viewing. Even your insurance is affected by this number. If you pay your car or home insurance monthly instead of annually, they charge you interest on those payments. Bad credit means higher interest rate on that too. Now add all of those costs together across your lifetime. When you stack a mortgage, 2 or 3 cars over a lifetime, phone contracts, insurance, and rent across 20 to 30 years, bad credit costs the average person well over £100,000 in their lifetime. Think about that number for a second. Not because you earn less, not because you spend too much, just because of a number most people have never checked. My credit score used to sit in the red zone on any scale. Today, it sits around in a green zone, which is the good range. I did not fix it overnight. I paid off the CCJ, I registered on the electoral roll, I got a credit builder card and paid it off every single month. It took time, but every single step moved the number in the right direction. I don't want that to happen to you. Remember that number I mentioned at the start of this video? The one I had never heard of, the one that was costing me £150 every month? That number is your credit score. And now you know exactly what controls it and how to fix it. Here's a bonus that most people don't know about. You can actually report your rent payments to the credit agencies. A service called Credit Ladder lets you do this for free. Every month you pay rent, it counts towards building your score. If you are already paying rent, you might as well get credit for it. Let me pull the credit blueprint together one final time. Step 1. Understand the invisible report card. No history is almost as dangerous as bad history. A blank file costs you money. Step 2. Watch for the 3 silent killers, which are missed payments, bad contracts, and hidden CCJs that can sit on your file for 6 years. Step 3. Take the free X-ray. Go to checkmyfile.com and pull your full credit report from there. Look for anything that should not be there. Step 4. Build the builder stack. Register on the electoral roll first, then cut a credit builder card. Make one small purchase a month. Pay the full balance automatically every single month without a fail. Step 5. Understand the lifetime price tag. Bad credit costs you over £100,000 across your lifetime. Good credit saves you that same amount. That is a credit blueprint. 5 steps from zero to a credit score that actually works in your favor. Now, the next question most people have after they understand their credit score is what to actually do with their money each month so it stops disappearing. I made a video breaking down real UK salary pound by pound using the exact system I follow now. It's a good one. That video is right here. Don't click on it just yet. Make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. I make videos like this every single week. I'll see you in the next one.